Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Nikita and I'm the face behind my Instagram and YouTube channel, yours truly NB. I upload all things fashion, beauty, travel, and everything in between. In the summer, my partner and I traveled to California and road trip through the state, and one of our stops was Yosemite National Park. We were really short for time, like we had one whole day to see the entire park, which is next to impossible, but we did the best that we could. Anyways, that brings me here today to share the perfect one-day itinerary in Yosemite National Park. I'll talk about accommodations, food, weather, staff, and then jump into the itinerary right at the end. First, I'll talk about accommodations. So we booked our trip pretty last minute, considering people book their trips to Yosemite like a year out in advance. So when we were trying to find a place to stay in the park, we were having absolutely no luck. Luckily, 10 days before our arrival, we were able to book a room at the Yosemite Valley Lodge. And this is a pro tip for you guys. So if you don't find any bookings available, don't worry. Up until 10 days to your arrival, you will probably find a cancellation from someone else that you'll be able to take, so you'll be set. Anyways, we booked the Valley Lodge because we really wanted to be in a central location, given we didn't have a lot of time in the park. And we paid about $250 USD per night, which in my opinion was kind of expensive given how basic the room was. The room itself is clean. You get hot running water, a king bed, and a mini fridge. There is no AC, but fans are provided. Sometimes you'll see small bugs, but nothing major. And prior to leaving for our trip, we saw lots of reviews on the Valley Lodge, and lots of reoccurring reviews talked about how hot it was at night. But my partner and I felt like we could manage quite well. We cranked open the window and used the fans, and we were fine. Food. The Valley Lodge offers food throughout the day. They have pizza, bar food like burgers, sandwiches, and fries, and hot food like chicken, chili, rice, and veggies. I felt like the portions were a good size, the food was tasty, and price points were comparable to what you would get at a restaurant. Alright, now staff. Staff at the Valley Lodge were incredibly knowledgeable and very helpful. They helped us determine what trails and lookout points to go to given our tight schedule, and provided us with maps and detailed directions. Wildlife. Every video or person that we talked to talked about seeing bears in Yosemite, but honestly we saw none. We saw mostly like deers, chipmunks, and like lizard type things. But anyways, my advice to you would be to stay away from any wildlife you see. Bike rentals. Renting a bike is a really great and fast way to see the park. Bike rentals are available throughout the park, and because we were at the Valley Lodge, we chose to go to the bike stand there. We paid about $30 USD for half the day, and the bikes had to be returned by 5:45 p.m. Wearing a helmet was optional, and every bike was numbered, so it was next to impossible to lose your bike. We didn't use any locks or anything, and we were fine. Weather. We went to Yosemite in August, so it was hot. There are multiple water stations throughout the park. Also, there are rivers and beaches that have really cold running water, which you can dip your feet in or take a swim in, and we took full advantage of that. Okay, now onto the good stuff, the itinerary. Like I mentioned before, we only had one full day in the park, so we really wanted to make the most of our time. We started our day at 8 a.m. and we drove 1 hour, which is about 30 miles, to Glacier Point. So from Yosemite Valley Lodge, we took Highway 41 to Glacier Point. Something to note is that the point is only accessible by car from approximately late May through October or November. Along the way, we stopped off at Tunnel View. This view is really popular because you can see popular landmarks like El Capitan, Half Dome, and Bridalveil Falls. No hiking is required, you simply park at one of the lots and you make your way to the vista point. After going through a really cool tunnel, we made it to Glacier Point. There are plenty of parking, accessible washrooms, and a gift shop there. From Glacier Point, you can see Yosemite Valley, Half Dome, Yosemite Falls, and more. We explored the area for a bit and drove back to the Valley Lodge to get some breakfast at the cafe. Then we rented bikes from the Valley Lodge and biked around the park. We biked along the path to Mist Trail. Mist Trail is an intermediate trail that has 3 parts to it, and full disclosure, after multiple physical breaks and water breaks, we only made it to the first part. Time for a break. So we climbed 1.6 kilometers to the footbridge only, and we're winded. So we're gonna turn around and go back up to our bikes. My partner and I are not experienced hikers, so the 1.6 trek uphill was not easy for the both of us. We returned our bikes around 5 p.m. and decided to go to Lower Yosemite Falls. It's about a 5-minute walk from Yosemite Valley Lodge, and in my opinion, the view at the bottom is pretty underwhelming, so we chose to climb over the rocks and make our way to the base of the falls. I would do this at your own risk only because the rocks are kind of slippery and hard to maneuver, but in all honesty, I don't regret it at all. We had such a fun time climbing over the rocks and it was a great photo op. It got dark around 6 or 7, so we called it a night because we really couldn't hike in the dark. And that's pretty much it. There you have it. It's your perfect one-day itinerary in Yosemite National Park. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you guys can comment below or reach out to me on my Instagram, yours truly, NB. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!